6. Red flags that reveal the person next to you is evil. Stoic Insights. 3065. In our journey through life, we often encounter a myriad of personalities, some of which can significantly impact our well-being. Understanding the subtle signs of toxic behavior is crucial for safeguarding our mental and emotional health. This guide delves into 6 key indicators that may reveal an individual's harmful intentions or manipulative nature. By learning to identify these red flags, we can protect ourselves from emotional turmoil and cultivate healthier relationships. Recognizing these traits not only empowers us to reclaim our peace, but also enhances our ability to foster positive connections with those who genuinely uplift us. In the realm of human interactions, the ability to discern truth from deception is paramount to maintaining healthy relationships. One of the most insidious traits of toxic individuals is their propensity to lie or manipulate the truth. These individuals exhibit a blatant disregard for honesty, viewing it not as a cornerstone of trust, but as a mere tool for control. Their deceptive behavior is not merely a habit, it is a fundamental aspect of their character that serves to undermine the very fabric of genuine relationships. At first glance, the lies told by such individuals may seem trivial or harmless, small exaggerations or slight distortions of reality. However, these seemingly innocuous deceptions often serve a greater purpose: to manipulate and control the perceptions of those around them. By casting doubt on what is real and what is not, they create an environment of uncertainty, leaving their victims questioning their own memories and instincts. This manipulation is not an accident. It is a calculated strategy designed to maintain power over others. The psychological impact of constantly dealing with a person who lies or distorts the truth can be profound. Victims of such manipulation often find themselves in a fog of confusion, struggling to navigate their own reality. The process of gaslighting, where the manipulator twists facts to make the victim doubt their own perceptions, can erode self-confidence and instill a sense of dependency. Over time, individuals may begin to rely on the manipulator for validation, surrendering their own judgment and autonomy. Moreover, the lack of guilt or remorse displayed by these individuals is particularly unsettling. They lie not out of necessity, but out of a desire for power and control. They may fabricate stories, twist words, and distort facts, all while feeling no moral obligation to uphold the truth. This lack of accountability not only perpetuates a cycle of deceit, but also reinforces their position of dominance over others. In the context of Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes the importance of clarity of mind and the pursuit of virtue, the presence of a chronic liar poses a significant challenge. Stoics advocate for the recognition of what is within our control and the importance of maintaining a clear and rational perspective. However, when faced with a manipulative individual, this clarity becomes obscured as the victim is drawn into a mental battlefield where every interaction feels like a game of chess, with the manipulator always several moves ahead. Recognizing the signs of deceit is crucial for self-preservation. If someone in your life consistently distorts the truth or makes you question your own perceptions, it is imperative to take a step back and reassess the relationship. Trust is the foundation of any meaningful connection, and when that trust is repeatedly violated, it is a clear red flag signaling the need for distance. In conclusion, individuals who lie or manipulate the truth pose a significant threat to emotional well-being and personal integrity. Their actions are not merely bad habits. They are deliberate strategies aimed at controlling and diminishing those around them. By recognizing these patterns and protecting oneself from their influence, individuals can reclaim their strength and preserve their sense of self in the face of such toxic behavior. The journey toward clarity and empowerment begins with acknowledging the truth and trusting one's instincts, even when faced with the most skilled of manipulators. Individuals who thrive on conflict often exhibit a disturbing pattern of behavior that can have detrimental effects on those around them. This penchant for chaos is more than just a personality quirk. It is a fundamental aspect of their character that shapes their interactions and relationships. These individuals seem to be magnetically drawn to discord, seeking out opportunities to create tension and drama. Unlike most people who value harmony and strive to resolve disputes amicably, conflict enthusiasts revel in the turmoil they generate, often orchestrating situations to ensure that discord is prevalent. One of the most striking characteristics of such individuals is their ability to sow seeds of discontent subtly. They may not always be overt in their actions, but they have a knack for planting doubts and misunderstandings among friends and acquaintances. Through whispered half-truths and suggestive comments, they can manipulate perceptions and foster animosity where none previously existed. This behavior often leaves others feeling anxious and uncertain, as they become unwitting participants in a drama that they did not choose to engage in. The motivations behind this love for conflict can be complex. For some, it may stem from a deep-seated need for control or power. By creating chaos, they place themselves in a position where they can manipulate the outcomes to their advantage. Their enjoyment of others' distress can be alarming. It is as if they derive satisfaction from the emotional turmoil they create. This sadistic pleasure in watching relationships fracture and people suffer is a clear indication of their lack of empathy and moral compass. Moreover, conflict-driven individuals often refuse to take responsibility for the chaos they instigate. When confronted about their role in escalating tensions, they may feign ignorance or paint themselves as the victim, claiming they were merely trying to help. This tactic not only shifts the blame away from them, but also further entangles their victims in a web of confusion and guilt. The ability to manipulate others' emotions while maintaining a facade of innocence is a hallmark of their behavior, making it challenging for those affected to address the issue directly. The impact of such individuals on the mental and emotional well-being of others cannot be understated. Constant exposure to their conflict-driven behavior can lead to increased anxiety, stress, and a pervasive sense of unease. People may find themselves walking on eggshells, constantly trying to avoid triggering a confrontation or exacerbating an already volatile situation. Over time, this can erode trust and create a toxic environment where healthy relationships cannot flourish. For those who find themselves in the orbit of a conflict-loving individual, it is crucial to recognize the warning signs early. Maintaining personal boundaries and prioritizing inner peace becomes essential. Engaging with such individuals can often feel like participating in a never-ending cycle of drama, which can drain one's energy and sense of self. By stepping back and assessing the dynamics at play, individuals can protect themselves from the emotional fallout that often accompanies these chaotic interactions. In conclusion, the love for conflict is a profound red flag that signals a deeper issue within an individual's character. Their tendency to create chaos and derive pleasure from the suffering of others is indicative of a lack of empathy and an unhealthy need for control. Recognizing these traits is vital for anyone seeking to maintain their mental and emotional well-being in the face of such challenging dynamics. By prioritizing personal boundaries and self-care, individuals can reclaim their peace and distance themselves from the toxicity that conflict-driven individuals bring. One of the most insidious traits of toxic individuals is their ability to make you feel perpetually at fault. This manipulation often manifests through a technique known as gaslighting, where they systematically undermine your confidence and sense of reality. Gaslighting is a psychological tactic that involves denying facts, twisting events, and dismissing your feelings, ultimately leading you to question your own judgment and perception. Initially, the manipulation may be subtle. You might express frustration about a situation, and they respond by suggesting that you're overreacting or that your feelings are unfounded. This tactic is designed to plant seeds of doubt in your mind. Over time, these interactions accumulate, creating a pervasive sense of confusion and self-doubt. You may find yourself second-guessing your memories and emotions, wondering if you truly are the problem in the relationship. This is precisely what the gaslighter intends. By making you question your reality, they gain control over you. The psychological toll of this manipulation can be devastating. You may begin to feel as though you are walking on eggshells, constantly anxious about how your words and actions will be perceived. The gaslighter thrives on this uncertainty, as it allows them to maintain power in the relationship. When you start seeking their validation for your feelings, you inadvertently hand over control of your emotional landscape. This dependency can lead to a cycle where you become increasingly reliant on them to define your reality, reinforcing their grip on your psyche. Moreover, toxic individuals often employ a tactic of deflection when confronted about their behavior. Instead of taking responsibility for their actions, they will turn the tables and suggest that you are the one being unreasonable or overly sensitive. This further entrenches the feeling of guilt within you as you begin to internalize the idea that your emotions are invalid or exaggerated. The result is a toxic dynamic where you feel responsible for their feelings and reactions, even when their behavior is clearly harmful. The Stoic philosophy teaches us to trust our reason and maintain clarity in our understanding of ourselves and our experiences. However, gaslighting is designed to erode this clarity, pushing you into a state of confusion and self-doubt. Recognizing this pattern is crucial for your emotional well-being. If someone consistently makes you feel like you are at fault, dismisses your feelings, or distorts your reality, it is essential to take a step back and reassess the relationship. You do not owe loyalty to someone who seeks to undermine your sense of self. It is vital to trust your instincts and perceptions, as they are your anchors in a reality that can feel increasingly unstable. Surrounding yourself with individuals who validate your experiences and support your emotional health is essential for reclaiming your strength and autonomy. Ultimately, recognizing and addressing the manipulative behavior of those who make you feel perpetually at fault is a crucial step in protecting your mental well-being and fostering healthier relationships. In the realm of toxic relationships, one of the most insidious behaviors is the tendency of certain individuals to perpetually assume the role of the victim. This behavior is not just a mere expression of vulnerability, it is a calculated tactic employed to evade responsibility and manipulate those around them. Victimhood becomes a shield behind which these individuals hide, deflecting blame and garnering sympathy while simultaneously avoiding any accountability for their actions. At the heart of this behavior lies a fundamental refusal to acknowledge personal responsibility. Rather than reflecting on their choices and the consequences that arise from them, these individuals are quick to point fingers at external factors or other people. They create narrative chains that paint themselves as the innocent party, suffering at the hands of a cruel world, or the perceived injustices inflicted by others. This constant refrain of victimhood not only serves to garner sympathy, but also positions them as the moral high ground, making it difficult for others to challenge their perspective without feeling guilty or insensitive. Moreover, the perpetual victim often thrives on the emotional energy generated by their plight. They may recount their misfortunes in great detail, emphasizing their struggles and hardships to elicit empathy from friends, family, or colleagues. This not only draws attention to their situation, but can also create a sense of obligation in others to provide support and understanding. As a result, those around them may feel compelled to offer help, even when it becomes clear that the individual is not actively seeking solutions, but rather wallowing in their self-imposed victimhood. This behavior can have profound effects on relationships. Friends and loved ones may find themselves caught in a cycle of emotional manipulation, where their attempts to provide support are met with further expressions of distress. The victim's narrative often shifts, with new grievances emerging as quickly as old ones are addressed, leaving those around them feeling drained and confused. Over time, the emotional toll can erode the boundaries of relationships, leading to resentment and frustration among those who are continually expected to bear the burden of the victim's struggles. Furthermore, this pattern can inhibit personal growth, both for the individual assuming the victim role and for those around them. By refusing to take responsibility for their actions, the victim fails to learn from their experiences, perpetuating a cycle of blame and avoidance. This stagnation can hinder their ability to develop resilience and problem-solving skills, leaving them ill-equipped to navigate life's challenges. Meanwhile, those who enable this behavior by constantly providing sympathy and support may also find themselves stuck in a similar cycle of emotional dependency. In conclusion, the tendency to always play the victim is a destructive behavior that can have far-reaching consequences. It not only undermines personal accountability, but also manipulates the emotions of those around them, creating an environment of confusion and resentment. Recognizing this behavior is crucial for both the individuals who exhibit it and those who find themselves entangled in such dynamics. By fostering a culture of accountability and encouraging open communication, it is possible to break the cycle of victimhood and pave the way for healthier, more balanced relationships. In the realm of interpersonal relationships, one of the most insidious behaviors exhibited by toxic individuals is their tendency to continuously criticize others while failing to acknowledge their successes. This behavior can be particularly damaging as it undermines the self-esteem and confidence of those on the receiving end. Unlike constructive criticism, which aims to help someone improve, this form of criticism is rooted in a desire to diminish and control. Toxic individuals often thrive on the feeling of superiority that comes from belittling others. They may downplay achievements, no matter how significant, and instead focus on perceived shortcomings. For instance, if a person has worked tirelessly on a project and finally achieves a milestone, a toxic individual might respond with a dismissive comment such as, "That's good, but you could have done it better." This response not only invalidates the hard work put into the accomplishment, but also shifts the focus away from the success itself, creating a narrative that the individual is never good enough. The psychological impact of this behavior can be profound. Over time, the constant barrage of negativity can lead individuals to internalize these criticisms, fostering a sense of inadequacy and self-doubt. They may begin to question their abilities and worth, feeling as though they are perpetually falling short of expectations. This is particularly harmful in environments where support and encouragement are crucial for personal and professional growth. When individuals are surrounded by those who only highlight their failures, it can stifle motivation and hinder progress. Moreover, the toxic individual often elevates their own achievements in stark contrast to the constant criticism they direct at others. They may boast about their successes, creating a competitive atmosphere where they position themselves as superior. This dynamic not only reinforces their sense of power, but also perpetuates a cycle of comparison that can be damaging to the mental health of those around them. Individuals may feel compelled to compete against an ever-moving goalpost, leading to increased stress and anxiety. The Stoic philosophy teaches us to measure our worth by our own principles and progress, rather than by the opinions of others. In this context, recognizing the pattern of constant criticism from toxic individuals is essential. It serves as a warning sign that the relationship may be unhealthy. Individuals must learn to protect their mental well-being by distancing themselves from those who seek to undermine their confidence. In conclusion, the behavior of continuously criticizing while neglecting to acknowledge successes is a hallmark of toxic relationships. It is essential for individuals to recognize this pattern and understand its detrimental effects on their self-esteem and overall mental health. By fostering an environment of support and encouragement, we can counteract the negativity that toxic individuals bring into our lives. Surrounding ourselves with those who celebrate our achievements, no matter how small, is vital for personal growth and maintaining a positive self-image. In today's society, the ability to empathize and show compassion is fundamental to building healthy relationships and fostering a supportive community. However, some individuals lack these essential traits, which can lead to toxic dynamics in personal and professional interactions. Those who exhibit a deficiency in empathy or compassion often view others as mere tools to achieve their own objectives, disregarding the emotional and psychological well-being of those around them. This lack of empathy can manifest in various ways, creating an environment that is not only detrimental to others, but also corrosive to one's own character. Individuals who lack empathy often fail to recognize or validate the feelings of others. For instance, when someone is experiencing grief, loss, or hardship, a person devoid of compassion may respond with indifference or even dismissive comments, such as "life is unfair" or "get over it." This reaction not only trivializes the other person's suffering, but also reinforces their isolation, making them feel unseen and unheard. Such interactions can be deeply damaging as they strip individuals of their dignity and reinforce feelings of loneliness during vulnerable moments. Moreover, those without empathy tend to manipulate situations to serve their interests, often at the expense of others. They may exploit the emotions of those around them, using guilt or obligation to maintain control. For example, a person might feign concern to elicit sympathy, only to shift the focus back to themselves when the conversation becomes uncomfortable. This self-centered approach not only highlights their emotional emptiness, but also underscores their inability to form genuine connections based on mutual understanding and respect. The absence of compassion can also lead to a toxic environment in workplaces or social settings. When leaders or colleagues lack empathy, it can result in a culture of fear and mistrust. Employees may feel undervalued and demotivated, leading to decreased productivity and increased turnover. In such environments, individuals are less likely to collaborate or support one another, as they perceive their peers as competitors rather than allies. This lack of teamwork ultimately stifles innovation and growth, as the emotional safety necessary for creative expression is compromised. Furthermore, the emotional detachment exhibited by those who lack empathy can have long-term psychological effects on the individuals they interact with. Constant exposure to indifference can lead to feelings of inadequacy, self-doubt, and anxiety. People may begin to internalize the belief that their emotions are invalid or excessive, leading to a diminished sense of self-worth. Over time, this can result in a cycle of negative self-perception and emotional distress, which can be challenging to break. In conclusion, the absence of empathy and compassion is not merely a personal flaw. It is a significant barrier to healthy relationships and community building. Individuals who treat others as mere instruments for their gain not only harm those around them, but also contribute to a broader culture of insensitivity and isolation. Recognizing and addressing this lack of empathy is crucial for fostering environments where individuals feel valued, understood, and connected. By prioritizing empathy and compassion, we can create a more supportive and harmonious society where everyone has the opportunity to thrive.